I'm taking a look at the number 29, racing with the number 92 of Tom Bourne. Tom is one lap down due to his pit stop, and even with a little bit of damage on the back of that truck, he was able to pull away from Austin Hartenfels, who is on older tires. So we'll see how much longer these drivers decide to stay out. It's been about 10 laps since drivers started to come in. Colin Bowden is still out there leading laps and still running decent lap times in comparison. He's only running half a second slower than drivers like Ethan Lane and Corey Hoover. So right now he's not in the worst of shape, and we'll see how it plays out for him as he continues to stay out here on lap 46.
Yeah, these guys probably can go about 50, maybe even 50 more, or 50 top slaps, just to say there's no way they can go 50 more, but looks like Colin is going to run a drive, but never mind, here he comes to pit road, and he is not going to be followed by Mark Murphy, so Mark gets the lead, and Colin is coming to pit road.
And these drivers here do need to use the service roads, entering pit road and exiting pit road. Austin Hartenfels, on the other hand, has stayed out, and he will continue to sit there in third. And Mark Murphy, as you said, Shane, will move up into the lead. We'll see how long that lasts. And then Bruce Ackerman's up into second right now.
Yeah, there's still quite a few guys that are left on the racetrack. I can tell you right now that Corey Hoover is 11th, and he is still very far away from the leader. He's about a quarter of a lap, probably a little bit more, away from Mark Murphy, so he's going to have to wait till this cycles through before Corey gets his lap back. But still, a caution here would change a lot. But Austin, as long as he stays out there, he's going to obviously be in good shape.
I do believe Austin Hartenfels will be coming in this time by. Yes, he will be there on your screen, pulling down onto that pit road entrance. What I'm going to be watching for is where he comes out in relativity to the number 27 of Corey Hoover, who, as most of you already know, is racing with Austin Hartenfels for this championship. Corey being 15 points ahead, and Austin Hartenfels' teammate being 15 points behind. He needs a big night here at Homestead, and right now he's doing the best he can, but he's not really getting too far yet.
And the thing is that Corey's been out there for a good 7 to 8 laps, running times on fresher tires. Austin's been out there on extremely old tires, running a lot slower lap times compared to Corey, so Corey should get by Austin here and probably pull him by a couple seconds. I would say it's not going to be hard for those tires to show early on, but Austin's going to have the freshest tires in the field, so we'll see how that works out.
And Mark Murphy here on lap 50. He does look like he will be staying out even longer here, and just as I say that, he dives down onto that service road, and Bruce Ackerman will now head his way up into the lead, and we'll see how long he chooses to stay out. I know his tires have got to be shot. There aren't many drivers that are still out on the track right now. Mark Murphy, Joseph Theis, and Mike Tellier and Mike Fenlinson, all of those drivers have not come down pit road, and of course now Mark Murphy is on pit road as the number 22 and the number 20 there on your screen. Bronson Stafford going around the outside of Bruce Ackerman, and I do believe Bruce will be coming in probably next time by at the latest. I don't think he's got more than 2 or 3 laps of fuel, so he's definitely stretching it as long as he can go. And as I take a look at where Austin Hartenfels came out, he is about 1 second behind teammate Corey Hoover, who is right there in the Hunt Brothers Pizza Silverado in front of him. So we'll see how this works out. Before pit stops, Austin was about 1.5 seconds ahead of Corey. So now that they're on fresh tires and Corey's on a little bit older tires, maybe Austin Hartenfels will be able to close in and give another shot at passing him. But we're 52 laps into this race, coming close to about halfway. And we're going to take another quick commercial break, and we'll be right back for the finale of the Upperedge Truck Series 2014 inaugural season. Don't go away. And back here at Homestead Miami Speedway, you just saw on your screen Austin Hartenfels was able to get around Corey Hoover there. And that's about 5 laps after he did come down pit road. So now we'll just have to see how it plays out between these two drivers. If Corey stays in touch with him, he definitely will not have a single worry at least when it comes to the championship. Bruce Ackerman is still out there on the racetrack right now in the lead, and I have no clue how he's been able to do that. You shouldn't have at the tops more than 55 laps of fuel here. Joseph Dice has also stayed out that long, and now Ethan Lane has worked his way back to the lead lap, and Colin Bowden is also back on the lead lap, and he will be chasing down Ethan Lane right there in front of him. Colin was the leader, and when he came down, he ended up losing that lead because he stayed out for quite some time longer, but now he's got the fresh tires once again, and he should be able to work his way back up into the lead.
Yeah, looks like Bruce is the final truck left on the track that has not pitted yet. And as you said, Steve, that's a lot of fuel they probably got in that truck. Obviously, everyone starts with the same amount of fuel, but Bruce has found a way to make it last. And I don't know, if you look big picture, if this race goes green flag from the entire race, who knows? Maybe staying out this late might help him go on a one less stop strategy, and that just might win the race here for Bruce. If it goes green, we'll have to follow this. Here comes the pit road. Thinking about it, he might only need to make one more stop, and I know Ethan Lane, he's probably not going to be able to make it on fuel with just one more stop, because he's probably going to have to come in before lap 100, I know for sure. So that's going to be something interesting to watch. This race goes green to green. The whole race, this might just favor Bruce.
And Colin Bowden's got Rally Grant Davis there in the number 24 right in front of him. And I think once he gets around Rally Grant Davis there and the lap down traffic, he will dissolve into Ethan Lane and work his way around him, as he's got a little bit of right side damage there, Ethan Lane does. So at some point he must have caught the wall. The number 24 is actually trying to work his way around the number 18 there and get his lap back, and Colin Bowden is racing for position, and he's trying to take that lead away, and he's got fresher tires there as he goes around the number 24, so I think it'll just be a matter of time before he gets around the number 18.
Yeah, I think Ethan Lane's starting to feel the effects of pitting early, and really early. He pitted a lot earlier than most of the field, and he's out there on the oldest tires of anybody right now that everyone has made a pit stop. So Ethan's going to be sliding back here for a little bit as he's trying to go back for the lead on Colin Bowden, but Colin's got the fresher tires, so I expect eventually Colin to prevail. They're still side by side for the lead, and yeah, Ethan Lane holding off Colin there. This is an interesting strategy, and Ethan is hanging on with those older tires.
Yeah, he's definitely utilizing the multi-groove nature of this track to stay out in front, and he looks to be pretty comfortable out there right now, but Colin Bowden is just biding his time, and I think now that he goes underneath of him once again, it's just a matter of time before Ethan Lane has to give that first place up.
Looking at the calculations, if Ethan Lane can run one of these two runs, he's going to have to make one more pit stop just with the rest of the field. I think everyone will be able to make it on one stop. All Ethan has to do is run his tank dry. One of the two runs, and he should be fine and good to go. That just means he's going to be on older tires, though, for the longer part of the race. So Bruce, he spent his first run running the tank dry. Now he can kind of split it up a little bit towards the end of this race and take advantage of some fresher tires later. As Colin throws the slide job on Ethan, and Ethan gives him a little bit of a tap in the corner, but Colin takes the lead as Bronson Stafford hits the wall.
Yeah, definitely a power move by the 88, and only halfway through this race almost here. I really don't know if that was called for or not, but either way, he made the move and he made it work. And we're 65 laps into this race now, and we still haven't had a single caution, so this could be a, I hate to say it and I hate to jinx it, but we could go all the way here, Shane.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's why we got to watch this pit strategy, see who's thinking about what, because if we do go green to the end, there might be some guys who might be in a good spot compared to their pit strategy, and some of these guys might be hurt later in this race because of when they decided to pit here for the first time. But I think Colin Bowden saw the 29 Austin Hartenfels getting bigger and bigger, even though he is still 3 seconds behind them. And he got around Ethan, and now he is pulling away from Ethan, so those fresher tires showing up, and Colin's back in the lead and back the fastest truck of the track.
Yep, once he gets around Bronson Stafford here, that number 20 in front of him, I also think he will definitely start to really pull away. Austin Hartenfels, on the other hand, he did get around Mark Murphy also for third place. And the thing is, though, Corey Hoover is still sitting there in fifth. So even as it is, Austin Hartenfels hasn't really gained much of anything over Corey. And Corey's still sitting there, only 13 points ahead of him. And he's got no sweat really coming off of his forehead, but right now we've still got 19 trucks running out on the track. The only driver not running is Elaine Krasinski, and he did not complete a single lap. So everyone out there started the race, and we are pretty much officially halfway through this race now. And Austin Hartenfels is just doing everything he can, but right now Colin Bowden's led 30 laps, and I think he's going to lead a lot more.
Yeah, I think he's definitely shown he is the fastest truck right now, and he is pulling away. But Austin Hartenfels, I'm starting to watch those lap times, is actually starting to reel in Colin a little bit. He just got around some lap trucks, and now, well, that was actually Mark Murphy, but he's going to be catching some lap trucks up rally Grant Davis, and they've also got Bronson Stafford still up here. So if this thing goes green here for a while, I expect that 29 Austin Hartenfels to come back into the picture here.
And reminder for those tuning in at home, this is the KontrolFreek 250 here at Homestead, Miami. Race 20 of 20 for the Upperedge Truck Series. And this, of course, is the final race of the season. It's been a long season for these drivers, and they've had a lot of tasks put in front of them. But Corey Hoover and Austin Hartenfels are pretty much, they've been the class of the field all year long. And then here you are with Corey Hoover being your points leader, with Austin Hartenfels trying to chase him down, trying to steal that championship. But I don't think it's going to happen, Shane.
Yeah, I think there's something in Corey's mind that just says you don't need to go fast, just take it nice and easy. Shane Terrian looks like he's going to try and make his way around Corey here. This is a battle for fifth. But I don't really think Corey's much caring about speed right now, just or at least trying to keep defenders on the truck and just make sure he doesn't hit the wall or do something catastrophic, and he'll be just fine.
And we'll see how Austin Hartenfels manages as he gets around towards this lap down traffic. We'll see if it takes him long to get around the 24 and then the number 20 in front of him. As Ethan Lane now is diving down to head on pit road to get a second pit stop of the night. And Ethan Lane will move up into second place here.
Yeah, that 29 truck's on the move. He's losing a little bit of the ground to the leader now because he is going around some trucks, but he will, looks like Bronson's going to yield to Austin. And that will put Austin now in clean air. The next truck in front of him is Colin Bowden, so we'll have to watch here Next 10, 20 laps, see if he picks up a little bit on the leader. Really, it's a spread out race at this point. You do have a slight battle for second, although Austin appears like he's trying to pull away from Mark, but Mark's actually coming right back. And now as we're talking, Mark Murphy maybe trying to take this second spot away. So all of a sudden he's right back up to the bumper of Austin. Here he goes to the inside. This 48 truck really coming alive all of a sudden.
Yes, Shane, I was looking through the numbers here, and I don't think, I know for a fact Ethan Lane is going to have to make at least one more pit stop in this race, and I know that people that stayed out as long as they could in that first run, they only have to make one stop also. But that'll be one less stop than what he'll be making here as the number 48 goes around Austin Hartenfels and that number 29. So definitely a wide variety of pit strategy being used here early on in this race as I guess it's not so early on as we're coming into about the 2/3 mark, and things are probably getting pretty tense for these drivers out here because it's getting to that point where they wonder, I'd like to make a move, or what do I do? But the caution could come out, and you're just stuck driving around this track waiting for something to happen.
Yeah, Corey Hoover's coming off pit road, and a lot of these guys are really making a choice that I don't know if we go green, it's going to really benefit them. Like you said, Steve, I just don't see them making it on fuel from here on out. We know Bruce Ackerman went 60 laps, and in order to go 60 laps, you're going to have to pit, you know, probably a little bit later than right now, and all these guys coming to pit road are probably going to bank on running it to the end, maybe getting a caution or so to help, but if I were Colin Bowden, fastest truck on the racetrack, I would run that thing dry and then take tires and then forget about it. Just run the race out at this point because it looks like we're going to be green for quite some time.
Yeah, really, once you find your strategy and you start doing it, you're pretty much stuck, you know, racing it for the entire race because you jump off of it and you wasted that entire strategy that first 2 runs or whatever, so if you stuck with your strategy early on, you're stuck with it now also, and I'm not sure if these racers, if they all keep their trucks straight and we don't have any cautions, I don't know if it'll pay off for them.
Yeah, it looks like maybe some of these guys can actually make it on fuel. Thinking about it here, they pitted past lap 73, and 73 would equal the 60 lap mark with 60 laps to go, so looks like these guys are going to bank on running it dry and at least going the full distance they can on fuel. We know Bruce went about 60, so it looks like everyone who has pitted is going to have to go about 60 laps, or they're going to have to make another stop. So yeah, they're probably going to make it to the end on fuel, but I don't know if this whole 60 lap run thing is going to work out for them.
But here, as we come to 80 laps complete here tonight, Checkered Flag Interactive is going to take one more quick commercial break, and then we will bring it to the checkered flag, or to the next caution flag, that is. So don't go away. Checkered Flag Interactive's coverage of the Upperedge iRacing Truck Series KontrolFreek 250 here at Homestead. We'll be right back. Don't go away. And we are back here once again on Checkered Flag Interactive. Colin Bowden is going to have some company here pretty briefly. He's got Mark Murphy in that number 48 chasing him down pretty quickly here. And I got a feeling, Shane, that once he gets there, Mark Murphy, he might be able to give Colin a run for his money out here, and he might be able to get a win here tonight.
Yeah, it seems like the second run, the second set of tires for Mark Murphy really playing to his liking. He caught past Austin Hartenfels. Now he's catching Colin Bowden, and maybe with a lap truck ahead here, the lap truck being Mike Finlayson, then maybe Colin might get held up and Mark might be the leader here before long.
And if that's to happen, we'll just see how it plays out. A lot of these drivers, as we've said throughout the night, are on different pit strategies, and most of these pit strategies are strategies that are pretty crazy altogether. So we'll just have to see how it plays out as the race continues on here.
Yeah, see, Mark Murphy looks to the inside, and I think Mark's got a little bit fresher tires than Colin. Might have pitted a little bit later, and I believe he did. And that truck really has come alive, and I think maybe it was just not losing a lot of time. He definitely, looking back at it now, Mark was one of the last trucks to pit from the lead lap when he did come to pit road, and he's got fresher tires because of that. Looks like he lost a lot less time than some of these guys did coming in and out of pit road, and that's allowed him to catch Colin Bowden, and it's going to be a matter of time before that 48 gets the lead.
And you know, Shane, with that being said, I really have to look at, and I have to say that staying out as long as he could really was the beneficial choice to make, and it was the right idea. So I definitely agree with everyone's choice to stay out as long as they could, especially with the opportunity and the chance of this being a very long run. And so we'll see here, as like I said, this strategy is going to play out in many different ways, but we'll see.
Yeah, I'm looking at Ethan Lane. He pitted a lot earlier than everybody else, and he just actually lost some serious ground to the guys in front of him. Corey Hoover's passed him, and we know Shane Terrian has also gone by Ethan, that at least are on the same strategy. So Ethan's lost some ground there. I think he's starting to regret this stop strategy, because he's going to have to run it dry to the end if he's going to want to make it to the end here. At least no additional pit stops, but we'll just have to see it as it all plays out as we get a battle for the lead.
And Mark is choosing to be down on the bottom line here, and it's not really getting it done quite yet, but we saw earlier in this run that Colin Bowden was able to utilize that slide job, and I think the number 48 will pretty much do something pretty much like Colin did there. And he will move now to the outside line, and Colin Bowden will head down pit road.
Yeah, I think he was just trying to see how long he can hold the lead. He knows he's got to pit again, so gets past the lead. I guess he said, why not? And he's going to come to pit road and see if he can maybe gain some time on Mark Murphy by pitting earlier here.
And Austin Hartenfels is another one of those drivers that's down there. And he's coming off pit road right here, so we'll see how he comes back out on track. One of the championship contenders, once again, we've been talking about all night long. Big night for him, and he really needs something happen. Something good to happen to him and something bad to happen to Corey. Of course, he doesn't want to cause it himself, being that they're teammates and all. But he's definitely hoping for the best, and if not, he's going to walk away with the second place finish in the standings and a very, very good season to be proud of.
Yeah, as you mentioned before, Steve, those two are teammates, so they would sweep the first two spots in the standings, so that's definitely something to be proud of, regardless of who won it or not. Hopefully they will embrace that and understand that their hard work got them to that point, as here comes our leader, Mark Murphy, now on to pit road.
And